Welcome to 30 Scripts in 30 Days, where each day we are going to explore a new Grasshopper script from scratch. In this series, each episode is unique, so you don't have to follow the whole series. You can select the episode that you want to watch and watch it on its own. And also, this series is not full project. We are going to explore a small part of a project. Maybe it's a detail, maybe it's the main concept, the main curve, maybe it's something parametric that helps with a specific task. It's not going to be a full project, and this way will be more if you are searching for something specific, you might find it here. And this is day one. One of the things that I have been interested to explore is how to create this pattern. I know it's might look simple, but it's not that simple because I want to create a hexagonal pattern. This is a hexagons. If you can see exactly, they are hexagons, but they are flexible enough to be moved around, and also they have some kind of stretchness and fluidity inside. So they might follow a specific pattern, they might follow a specific script, and then you can separate some of them later. But today we are going to focus on just how to create a parametric pattern that is based on hexagons, something similar to this. So let's start. So the first thing I want to do is to create a sub-D, because the sub-D is going to be the base for my fluid controlling of this pattern. And I will explain it a little bit more, but for now, let's just jump right into it. And the first thing I want to do is to simply bring it in here to the grasshopper. And let's just bring this a little bit in here. After that, I want to deconstruct it as a B-rip. And before we move forward, let's just crease those because I don't want soft edges. Okay, and after that, let's hide it and let's continue. Usually I have a lot of problems with sub-D, so I do this every time I work with sub-D, and it's going to unify UV and then add this and add a surface, just some normal rectangular surface, at least in this case. I will explain this in detail in later videos, but I don't want to make this video very long. But this one right here, set one surface, and that's it. And this will make sure that all of the sub-D cells are in the same direction, which is important for this case. Sometimes they are not in the same direction, especially if you worked on them a little bit and moved them around. So in this case, this is what I want to do, and I want to hide this somewhere, so I'll just add it to this, and it's already hidden. Perfect. Let's hide all of this. I don't need it, and I'm interested in those. I want to parametrically subdivide them, and this component is usually on bufferfish. So if you want to have it, just download bufferfish. And this, by the way, is on Food for Rhino as an individual component, if I remember correctly. You can just search for Unify UV and you will find it immediately. And after that, I want to, the subdivisions, I want them to have an even number. And why even numbers? Because later I will dispatch them, so I want to have a checker effect. I will show you better. So let's get this a range, and in this range I'm going to make this as, let's say, 4, and double click on this and make it even. So it's going to be 2, 4, 6, whatever. And for now I think 6 is too much for this side. I think 4 is good. And then in here, let's make those as a 2, probably 4, 6. Okay, for now I'll keep them 2 by 4, and after that I want to create the checker effect. So the first thing I want to do is to dispatch those, and once I dispatch them, you can see if we go to here that some of them are selected and some of them are not, and then I will them join them as a pair because they are now separate, and I don't want that. I want them all to be joined, and then flatten. I don't want to deal with the data tree right now. It's not necessary, and I will just deconstruct them again. Deconstruct pair, and right now you will have them. If you go to list item, I think they are perfectly arranged, which exactly what I'm looking for. And I will do the same in here for this. And I want to dispatch those right now. So I'm going to select this and dispatch it, and select the other one and dispatch it also. But this one I will invert. And what I have done is that if I merge the first one with the first one, I will be selecting a checker effect, which is exactly what I'm looking for. And that's what I need. I want to do the same, but with the second one and the second one. And that's good. And after that, I want to create, let's hide all of this. Actually, let's hide everything. And after that, I want to create a hexagonal cell or hexagon cell. And right now I want this to be only one. So I'm going to click shift and quotation mark and then write one. So I'm creating a panel basically. And this also as a one. So if I zoom a little bit, you can see that I created some kind of quarter of the hexagon. And if I repeated the process in here, but I changed this number is 0.25, so I'm going to create a slider and just join this number in here, and I'm going to connect it in here, but I want this number to have a 0.75, let's say 1 minus x, which is this number. So right now you can see that I created the hexagons that I want, which is really good. That's what I'm interested in. And right now I want to go back a little bit to probably the wireframe and just show my sub-D. And right now I want to control, because I want to control my cells. And for now I will maybe shrink the sub-D a little bit like that. I want it to be kind of inside, at least some of it inside the land. And also I want to select this and just shrink it. And when I do that, you can see that the middle one are started to shrink. Maybe we can increase this 2 into 4. Yes, a little bit. That's kind of what I'm looking for. And if I move this a little bit, these ones are getting stretched, and I will try to narrow down those, so probably something like this, so it's getting stretched around the corner. And probably I think in this case, let's select the vertices in here and push them away, so you can get this kind of traveling effect. And probably this one also, maybe let's try to do something like this, or let's try to do something like this, so these ones are getting more stretched. Maybe. I think they are good. Maybe stretch them a little bit more. And we can do the same to here. We can push those a little bit. And maybe I will try to... Right now, you can try to make your own iteration of this. I'm just trying to create interesting pattern. Maybe I should speed up this process or this part. Okay, I think for now I'm happy with this kind of, because they have some kind of stretched ones in here. I don't care about the ones that are outside, but I care a little bit about the ones inside, which is what I want. Probably let's see if we can just shrink those a little bit more. because I want those to be a little bit smaller. But yeah, this is good for now, and I will continue with it. So the first thing I want to do is simply go back to here. Once I'm happy with this, I can simply hide this back and go back to here and symbol mesh it. So I'm going to select this, and I'm going to select this. Actually, let's select both in one, and then join join all of those meshes and flatten everything, and then simply weld all of them, and then I want sub D from mesh, and that's great. I can now have everything that I want. So let's bake. And here's the interesting part, or one of the interesting parts about this. Let's probably go to any view that I can simply select all the faces. You can just click on one and shift and double click on the next one and delete. That's good. I don't want those, so I'm going to do that and shift and delete on all of them. I'm not interested in the first ones in here. I'm not interested in those. I'm not interested in the first ones in here. And also maybe I don't want those ones, so I'll delete them. I don't want this. So right now I will remove all the half hexagons. So any half hexagon like this, I will simply delete it. Okay. And after that, any hexagons that I'm not interested in, I might delete. So for example, I want to delete this one. Actually, let's keep those. Maybe I should shrink them down a little bit, but for now, I think I'm happy with them, kind of. And after that, if you go to like this, click on tab, everything is smushed, and that's not what I want. I want them to be separate as their own cells. So again, I'm going to select those, and I'm going to select a row and skip a row. So I'm going to select something like this, and those, something like that, and then extract. And in this case, I'm going to the wireframe because I want to select a specific ones. So I'm going to select this and go to here and select like that. The wireframe is easier to select, to drag and select like this. Select one and skip the other. So that's should be good. If for example you missed one, you can just skip it and then remove it again later, like this. Okay. I don't know if I selected them all or not. For now, I'm going to do this and then click tab. And when you click tab, you can see that these are not separated, so you can separate them. These are not separated, then you can separate them. And also, I think all of them are separated. They look separated. Okay, I think right now everything is good, but right now everything is too smooth or too, not still needs a little bit more work. So the first thing I want to do is to select cell sub D in this case, which are all of them, and then extract the mesh and move somewhere away. So for now, I'm going to say 500. I think that's good. So these are the meshes, and then go to here somewhere and import those meshes, set multiple, and I want to create hexagons out of this. So for now, I'm going to just group and hide. And right now I need the central vertices, and I need the edges for each mesh. So I'm going to mesh edges, and I want to get the naked vertices, but I'm not interested in the naked vertices itself. I'm interested in the cloth points. So the cloth points is this one in the center in this case, and I'm going to join those, and after that I'm going to extrude to point, which is this close point, and then those. And if we hide all of this, you can, what is happening in here? Okay, we still have missed one, which is not good. So let's go back to here, delete those for a second. We missed those, sorry about that. And then cell sub D again, extract the meshes, just move the meshes away 500 and set multiple meshes, and now everything is good, perfect. Let's just hide those for a second, Control G and hide. And right now, if you look closely, there are some unneeded edges. So to fix that issue, you can reduce. So reduce usually just clean any points that's not needed most of the time, which is good. And if you still need to clean more, you can increase this value from 1 to 2 or whatever, and this will be good. And after that, I think we will need a simple mesh. And after the simple mesh, we want to get those two. Just copy and paste in here. And let's see what we have done. We should have done something like this once you paste it. Yes, I think in this case, and preview off, you have one of the hexagons, which is really good. That's perfect. But right now I want to talk about a very important component, which is soft creases. Soft creases does creases for all the internal uh, element segments. So for example, or all the selected internal segments. So for example, if I go like this, and it's going from 0 to 100, so if I set 50, that is the 50. If I set 20, it's going a little bit more smoother. If I set 0, it's full smooth. If I set 100, I think it's fully creased almost. But yeah, 50 is kind of a good number in this case, because it's fluid, but it's not super fluid. It has some kind of rigidity, which sometimes is really important. This is good, but we can try a little bit to add more voids in all of these. So instead of this, we can try to get a scaled version, and I want the normal scale in this case. Scale, and sorry, this, and just from the same point to the same curve, and I'm going to loft this in here, and I'm going to loft it with this, which is really, really good. And then I want somehow to, if we pushed this a little bit and copy it, we will have the second version of this. I think in this case we can go to here and hide this for a second, and then just bake. Yes, okay. And I'm going to select all of those edges again and going to make them 50 again. So that's part of the design, which is really, really good, because right now you have some bigger ones, or you have smaller and tighter ones. So if, for example, you want to create groups of, let's say, cluster, so you can simply ungroup and probably select multiple, maybe those, and join them and create one big building. You can somehow, let's say that I want all of these in the middle, and probably let's see if we can select all of these, maybe with this one and maybe with this ones. So maybe you can somehow create something out of this. I think maybe we can make our own entrance from here. We can have separate small buildings, maybe this one, and then we can have access to different spaces, and then we can group those and join them or whatever. You can cluster your groups however you like, but this is good because all of them are dynamic, because once you are controlling the main sub-D surface, which was this big one, you can create your own module, you can create your own shifts around. And let's actually move those a little bit. Let's move them to 500 and show, but I'm not interested in those meshes. This is the final result so far. Please let me know if this is helpful for you, and if you have learned something interesting, and if this might be interesting for your next design. Also, this file and all the other files will be available on Patreon after each episode. So thank you so much, and see you in the next one.